Welcome back to my little corner of the podcast world. I'm Kacie, your friendly neighborhood hedgewitch, and welcome back to another snack-sized visit to my little corner of the world. It's the Snackisodes, so grab a snack, sip your water, get your fun drink, sit back, and enjoy your break with monthly stories from my corner of the world to yours. First of all, what are you snacking on these days? I've gone down a strange rabbit hole of chasing the fun food dragon, and I may or may not be addicted to freeze-dried candy now. I had my first taste at the Spring Antique Alley Market event here at the local town square, and I've pretty much been back to the little market that hosts my candy dealer, Heather's Hometown Foods, for weekly hits of the good stuff. My favorite is the Jolly Ranchers, since it's been so long since my teeth could handle that hard stickiness that a proper Jolly Rancher has. So getting the melt in your mouth, puffy crunch of the freeze-dried candy it's heaven. However, I have tried most of what she has to offer, and those freeze-dried Skittles also have no right to be so good. Clearly, I hit a snag in the whole healthy snack thing I was trying to work on, but May was just the kind of month where comfort was more important than shaming myself for not balancing out the fun snacks with the healthy ones. I even started slacking on my water intake, and I'd been doing so well, but I'm getting I'm getting better about it again. I'm paying more attention to that, trying to hydrate. Part of my funk this month, on top of life in general just being extra rude, I was admittedly pouty over the fact that as each weekend passed without me attending this season of Scarborough Renaissance Festival, I was struggling. This month was hard. I wasn't booking the extra groom dogs I needed in order to enjoy such events without going into debt for the next 6 months. And it was looking like I wasn't going to make it at all. I was helping my chances along, however, as much as I could by entering all the ticket giveaways I could every single week. Half of good luck is opportunity taken, and I was going to give my luck every opportunity to work its magic and give me those tickets. After failing the first couple of weeks, I roped my husband in on the act and got him entering the giveaways as well. Still nothing. Okay, I wouldn't go down without a witchy fight, and for the last week I decided to use my fast luck oils and do a little spell for luck as I entered the final week's contests on Facebook and Instagram. Y'all, I highly recommend Earth Wisdom Store's Fast Luck Oil Blend, because not only did I win one giveaway, I won both. I was so confused and was so sure I had made a mistake that I had an anxiety attack over the whole thing. I kept reading and rereading the messages on my separate profiles. I won 2 tickets on my private Facebook account, and then also won 2 tickets on my public Instagram account at Kacie327, and was convinced it was too good to be true. I had my husband read over the messages, and he confirmed, I won on both. It looks legit. I still felt like I did something wrong, so I knew I had to come clean. I contemplated telling my husband's telling them my husband's name on one account, since we had to present an ID to claim the tickets at will call. But really, it wasn't worth the anxiety I would have the whole time for just not being honest about it. My mental health seriously has no space for dishonesty these days, and if I wanted to maintain the good progress I had made since last winter's low, then I knew I just needed to come clean. Anxiety is so weird that way. I had consciously chosen to enter both giveaways to raise my chances, but it never occurred to me that I would win both, let alone both in the same week, and that doing so would induce an anxiety attack. So I replied back on one account, my appreciation and thanks, and gave them the name for the tickets. Then I went to my other account and confessed to entering on both apps and somehow managing to win both giveaways. I said I would love to claim all 4 tickets and take my family, or if they wanted to give the tickets away to a non-duplicate winner, then I would completely understand. I sent the message, held my breath, completely expecting to be scolded for wanting too much and sent away, but y'all, they were so sweet and assured me it was completely random and it really just must have been my lucky day. I about lost my mind hollering at my husband that we were going. It was legit. I told the kids and pretty much immediately got to work on repairs for my fairy Mandalorian kit. Because y'all, it needed it. Because you best believe my new Star Wars fairy mashup cosplay was going to get one less outing before the summer heat pretty much puts an end to armor season. I had less than 2 days to get ready, so first I got to work stitching some leaves back onto my skirt to fill in the gaps left after our last month's adventure out at the Fantasy Fairy Festival. I quickly moved on to mending my wings and mossy bark armor. I added twinkle lights to the back of my wings to give them a glow. I'm not exactly happy with the wings, but from necessity, I had originally bought the Dollar Tree bumblebee wings last year, so I had something smaller to wear to Scarborough than my usual pairs that can be a bit cumbersome in shops like the ones found at fairs and festivals. Fairies are like bulls in a china shop when they forget their wingspan. I updated them the night before the Fantasy Fairy Festival, looking for a blend of mossy fairy and Mandalorian tech. I used moss and sequins, basically. I'm not happy with the results, but they worked. Before this outing, I added some of the iridescent threading that I used in my hair to give a bit of a glowy appearance in the sun, and added the battery-powered twinkle lights to the back for, that additional glowy power. I also added additional details to my fairy blaster. It was a Star Wars-inspired blaster, pretty much made from wood, rope, and antler, sequins, and now gold-painted sculpted cardboard. I was initially unsure of my new character's weaponry, looking around online for maybe something I could order, but then was inspired to piece together something that gave the appearance that I needed. When I remembered, all the behind-the-scenes documentaries that I love that show how the props of the Star Wars universe are pretty much everyday objects reimagined, I moved on to repairs of the armor finally, since I couldn't find the needle for any more stitching repairs and realized it was almost midnight and I needed to hurry up and finish because it was time for bed. I found that missing needle, by the way, 12 hours later as I assembled my armor in the Scarborough Fair parking lot. Then promptly forgot about it for another 12 hours until the end of the day when I was home and peeling it all off again. No matter how prepared I try to be for an event, inevitably there's always something I forget. Not just that needle. It happens to everyone, and overstimulated anxiety brain makes it that much worse. I tried to have my entire kit in a box and ready to go, but of course I forgot my Bo-Katan inspired headpiece at home in my mad dash to finish my makeup before we ran out the door. When I got home, I found it right there in that pile of makeup. I was kicking myself the whole day for that, but I know the Fairy Mandalorian will ride again, and I'll keep making it better every time. As it was, people still got what I was going for and were so happy once they did, especially the kids. I ended up spending the day exploring and enjoying my new character so much I didn't get nearly as much footage as I did last year. The highlight of the day, though, was definitely the moment my cosplay dreams came true, and I got to get a picture with my fellow Star Wars mashup cosplayers while in my own kit. It was awesome. We have a local couple cosplaying as a medieval-styled Bo-Katan and Din Djarin. All season long, I've been seeing their pictures popping up in the festival groups and on the Instagrams, and wanted so badly to meet them while in my own Mandalorian kit. and, hopefully get a picture with them. Yeah, my dreams came true, because while I was just shooting some B-roll, I saw them appearing out of the crowd. It was like magic. Like, y'all know the theme song was playing in my head that whole time and for the rest of the day. I immediately went fangirl mode and stopped what I was doing and asked them for a picture. They were so patient while I hollered around for my sons or my husband, anybody to come take this picture. Thankfully, my kids were only 2 booths down at like a picnic table, so I got my teenager moving as fast as possible, meandering stroll, and was so delighted to see the Mandalorians hadn't disappeared while I hunted down my photographer. I thanked them profusely afterwards and really will be forever grateful that I got that moment with them. We ended up having a wonderful day out there, all of us, the whole family. And once again, I want to thank the folks over at Scarborough Renaissance Festival for everything they do to make sure their guests get to enjoy themselves out there. I especially appreciate their ticket giveaways and am so grateful to their staff for their patience and kindness. Shout out to the young lady at Will Call booth who was so sweet when I showed up and couldn't force the words to come out at first. Then got them out in the wrong order before finally communicating what I was there to do. It can be so intimidating to try new things and to talk to strangers. The combo is a major anxiety trigger, and the effect can be can pretty much close down the old throat chakra. The airways snap shut, and connections to the brain are severed in those moments. I can get completely caught up in that moment and stay frozen, unable to speak when I'm at my lowest and most vulnerable to things like anxiety and panic. And that can pretty much put a damper on everything. I can't slow my brain down enough to process differently when I'm like that, and I really need to process differently in order to think logically sometimes. Thankfully, when I am well and capable, I do have the tools I can apply to break through that wall. I had to take a few deep breaths and just honestly say, sorry, I have high anxiety issues and my words get jumbled. Just give me a second. I'll sort them out. And then take another deep breath. And then say what I was trying to say now that I've slowed down and the person knows that I'm not done and am just trying to clarify and may need extra patience. That trick really, really has done wonders. I've found that usually does wonders for a situation that might be escalating into confusion and frustration, mostly on my end. Most people immediately relate and half the time express that they are struggling in their own way in that moment as well. If they are still frustrated, I at least have learned that it helps me not take it so personally, since I did all I could to let them know it wasn't personal, and thus reminded myself not everything is personal. If you want to check out more of my adventures at Scarborough and other musings, be sure to tune in next month on the final Mondays of the month for your snack-sized visits with me, unless there is a national holiday, my kids get sick, and I get bit at work, then it may be a little late. So thank you for your patience for this month, by the way. Don't forget you can now send me a raven on my new website, welcome-to-kaciescorner.com, or follow me on my socials, also found there on the site and in the description of this episode. Send me your snack ideas, and if you also deal with anxiety issues, tell me about how you manage building community so I can share it on my next episode. Let's learn from each other, as much of what gets me through is what I've learned from others. One day I hope to see a whole flock of ravens waiting there for me. Also, you can check out my latest videos over on my YouTube's channel, Kacie's Corner, also linked in the description below. Soon to be hosting my latest Kacie Goes adventures with what I did get from Scarborough Fair. And my vlog from the day with more stories about just my wonderful interactions just with the guests and the cast and just my family. It was just a great day. You can also join me over for members only seasonal group spells over on my Ko-fi page and my private Facebook group for my members only access, and get exclusive access to my chart reading with Teresa Marisa from 2 Geminis and a Leo, and a special group project coming up for the summer. You can also find out more about that in my other public Facebook group for everybody, that is for my listeners, for my YouTube follow, for everybody. That is the Kacie's Corner community page. You can find that over linked on my Facebook. You can also check out my Ko-fi shop that's open to members and non-members alike as well for the rest of my witchy wares. I also have a special going for my spell kit commissions for the next month, so check that out. I hope you've enjoyed your snack. Y'all have a great month and get some water. Stay hydrated. I'll meet y'all right here, same witch time, same witch channel next month. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Love you guys. Bye.